Okay, dear students, today our chapter is national income. So let's focus on national income chapter. So first of all, let's define national income first. National income is the flow of goods and services which become available to a nation during a year. Alfred Marshall is the renowned economist who has given or defined national income in his own way. According to him, the detailed definition of national income is the labor and capital of a country acting upon its natural resources produce annually a certain net aggregate of commodities, material and immaterial, including services of all kinds. The limiting word net is needed to provide for using up of raw and half finished commodities and for the wearing out and depreciation of plant which is involved in production. All such waste must of course be deducted from the gross produce before the true or net income can be found. Net income due to foreign investment must be added in it. This is the true net annual income or revenue of the country or the national dividend according to Marshall. So Marshall definition was criticized on the following grounds. Due to a large number of varieties of goods and services, very difficult to measure accurately the national output or income of a nation. A substantial part of commodities does not come into the market for sale, so it cannot be evaluated in terms of money. Problem of double counting is implicit. The national dividend is that part of the objective income of the community, including, of course, income derived from abroad, which can be measured in money. And this national dividend was defined by A.C. Pigou, another economist. The definition was criticized. This was the definition of A.C. Pigou, and it was criticized on the following grounds. It is applicable to developed countries of West but not applicable to underdeveloped countries of Asia and Africa because the existence of barter system. The field covered by the national income somewhat uncertain because of including only those goods and services whose prices can be expressed in terms of money. One more definition was given by Irving Fisher about national income. Let's focus on it. The national dividend or income consists solely of services as received by ultimate consumers, whether from their material or from their human environments. Thus, a piano or an overcoat made for me this year is not a part of this year's income but an addition to capital. Only the services rendered to me during this year by those things are income according to Irving Fisher. Right? Okay. The definition of Irving Fisher has some critical appraisal. Let's focus on it. It appears to be better or more scientific. It is welfare oriented. Due to the existence of a large number of commodities and of course many varieties, very difficult to estimate the money value of total consumption at the hands of millions of consumers in the country. I shall have to allot a definite life to the commodities to find out their money value of consumption in a particular year. So basically in his definition he focused on consumption habits of the people. It is difficult to know the date of manufacture and the original price of a durable commodity which passes through the hands of so many persons. That's why the task of calculating the money value of consumption in a particular year is still more difficult. So let's focus on the elements of national income. National income refers to the income of a country. It includes all types of goods and services which have an exchange value, counting each one of them only once. So items included in national income are certain transfer payments such as unemployment allowances, old age reliefs, or social security allowances, or a gift received from a friend or a relative due to not arising from any productive activity is included in national income. Capital goods made by an individual such as land, buildings, stocks and shares are included. Income accruing to an individual from illegal activities such as black marketing and smuggling not included. All these three items not included in national income. Okay. Methods used to avoid double counting because there is always a risk of double counting. So we can avoid double counting by following the following methods. Number one, final products method. It involves only the adding up of final products. Collective and government services also included. Value-added method. Do not take into account the value of the final goods and services produced in a country, but goes on adding the values created at each stage in the manufacture of a good. Now, measurement of national income. There are four methods of measuring national income: production method, income method, expenditure method, and value added methods. So let's go first read these methods one by one. Production method or inventory method. The aggregate production of final goods and services in an economy in 1 year evaluated in terms of market prices, that is called GNP. Gross depreciation of equipment and machinery involved in the process of minus gross depreciation. Okay, we have to eliminate it in the process of production. According to income method, the income accruing to all the factors of production during the process of production aggregated together, it is called national income at factor cost. Expenditure method, it is obtained by adding up personal consumption expenditure, gross domestic private investment, government's purchases of goods and services, and net foreign investment. This is called national income at market prices. And last one is value added method, the difference between the value of national outputs and inputs at each stage of production, and this is called value added method. Factors determining national income. Quantity and quality of factors of production affects national income. The state of technical know-how affects national income. Political stability also affects national income, like population growth also affects the national income, right? So there are many more other factors which play an important role in determining national income. Let's focus on importance or significance, or you can say application, or you can say the role of national income or national income accounts. It gives valuable information about the basic structure of the economy and contributions made by the various sectors to the gross national product of the country. It provides information about the distribution of income among the various classes of society. It throws light on the volume of savings. It focuses as it can be considered as the manner in which national expenditure is divided between consumption and investment. It helps in measuring the aggregate level of production at some point of time and explains the immediate cause of the level of performance. By comparing national income accounts over a period of time, possible to pinpoint the long-term trends at work in national economy. It provides information for the formulation and application of governmental policies designed to improve the economic health of the nation. It helps the government in assessing the impact of its economic policies on various sectors. It also helps in designing economic plans. It provides necessary raw materials for the formulation of realistic plans. It gives an idea about the rate of national income growth in a country. Increasing national income is an indication of growing economic progress or economic welfare of the community. By comparing national income data of different countries, we can compare their standards of living and the levels of economic welfare. National income data have great importance for the research scholars, particularly of economics. So let's focus on the concept of national income. Number one, gross national product, that is known as GNP also. Total production of goods and services during 1 year evaluated in terms of market prices is called GNP. How can we calculate GNP? Number one method is output or expenditure method. Breaking up of total national expenditure into four categories, including personal consumption expenditure denoted by C, as we have mentioned in previous slides. Gross domestic private investment indicated by I. Government's purchases of goods and services indicated by capital G. And net foreign investment, that is the difference of exports and imports. So adding of above these categories, after making addition of these categories, then we have then we have the national income. Second method is income method, or you can say allocation approach. Grouping of factor incomes into wages and salaries of employees or compensation to employees. Incomes of non-company business, for example, individual proprietors, partners and self-employed persons. Rental incomes earned by individuals on agriculture or non-agricultural property. Corporate profits earned by business corporations before the payment of corporate profit taxes or the payment of dividends to the shareholders. Incomes from net interest earned by individuals from sources other than the organs of the government, indirect taxes or commodity taxes, depreciation of capital goods. This is the loss in value suffered by machinery, equipment, buildings, etc. So if we add these above categories, then we have national income according to income method. Okay. Next is net national product. Second concept, national product. Net production of goods and services in a country during 1 year. So NNP can be calculated as taking after deducting depreciation or replacement from GNP. It is also called national income at market prices. So this is the better measure than GNP. Second one and third one is the national income. Total of all income payments received by all the factors of production like land, labor, capital and organization. The formula can be represented as national income equal to NNP at market prices minus indirect taxes plus subsidies, we add subsidies here, minus profits accruing to the government. This is also called national income at factor cost. Number 4, personal income. The income actually received by the individuals or households in a country during the year from all sources. Formula can be given as PI for personal income equals to NI for national income minus corporate income tax minus undistributed corporate profits minus social security contributions plus transfer payments. It helps in estimating potential purchasing power of the households. It is also helpful in the measurement of the welfare of the general body of consumers, but does not clearly tell the actual amount of money that is available to the household for spending and saving. Number 5, disposable personal income. A part of personal income which is left behind after the payment of personal direct taxes means income tax. So formula can be given as DPI stands for disposable personal income equals to PI personal income minus personal direct taxes such as income tax and house tax. DPI equals to consumption and savings. Number 6, real national income. National income expressed in terms of constant prices or the prices prevailing in the base year. It is also called national income at constant or base prices. Per capita real income can be calculated as PCRI equals to real national income divided by size of population, which is used as an index of changes in the standard of living in a country and also used to measure the changes in economic progress in terms of goods and services available per head of population. Number 7, nominal national income. National income expressed in terms of current prices. It is also called national income at current prices. So we actually face, when we go for making calculation for national income, we face different kinds of problems. So let's focus on what kind of difficulty can be there while measuring national income. Number 1, availability of inadequate and unreliable statistics. Sometimes what happens, we do not have adequate and reliable statistics, so we cannot include that particular data in the calculation. Existence of large non-monetized sector in underdeveloped countries. In underdeveloped countries particularly, there is large non-monetized sector, means the sector which cannot be evaluated in terms of money. So this part is eliminated from the calculation of national income. That's why national income automatically does not give the true picture of the economy. Incorrect assessment of income because of illiteracy, ignorance. Because so many people are illiterate, they do not maintain their accounts properly, and that's why that particular details cannot be included in national income. So national income affects. Lack of occupation specialization of people in underdeveloped countries. This is another factor which affects national income. So we have elaborated the total idea of national income. We studied about the definition, we studied about the different concepts, different measures and difficulties, and how can we curb inflation with the help of monetary and fiscal measures. So this was the idea about the national income from my side today. So we stop here, and in the next video we will start with the new chapter. Till then, from my side, goodbye.